Okay, our class is officially on recording, and I want to welcome everyone once more. Like I said, we're going to discuss solutions evaluations, and solutions evaluations is a process of trying to determine the viability of solutions, comparing different solutions to look at which one is more aligned to the business objective. So that is just a very simple term of trying to define solutions evaluation. But it's a very long process. It's not that easy. It's a full consultancy process in business analysis. So today we are going to understand it and understand how to apply it in our project. So without wasting much time, we dive in and take it from there. When you start seeing my screen, you let me know. I've started sharing.
We're seeing it, sir.
All right, good.
Can see it.
Okay. This is solutions evaluations, and the screen you are seeing, I'm capturing a company called Gartner. You see, this is Gartner. Gartner is a consultancy firm. They are good in reviewing so many solutions, business solutions, enterprise solutions, give it rating, give it a thorough review, highlight various opportunities, feedback from various industrial experts or professionals using all these solutions. It helps to give us visibility of what the solution can do and where the solution is placed within the industry by the industrial experts. So we're going to use these two to carry out solutions evaluations. But before we go down to Gartner, let's understand what solutions evaluations. It is a business analysis techniques for assessing and analyzing to determine the feasibility, effectiveness, and alignment of a particular solution within the organizational goals and objectives. Okay, let me use a scenario here. We have been trying to understand the challenges Nearas.com is facing within their finance department because they don't have effective solution in managing their finance. And we have been doing that. We carry out requirement gathering. We document our requirements. We model our requirements. We do requirement analysis. We try to understand or apply gap analysis to understand the current process and the future process. So after all this analysis, we are now convinced that Nearas.com needs enterprise resource planning ERP for effective management of finance department. But that they need ERP is not enough. ERP is kind of a framework. There are so many solutions that is nested within the ERP. How do we determine the best ERP enterprise application to choose? There are so many of them. That is where this analysis comes in. You're looking at this, you see this is ERP from Microsoft, and it's called Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central. Then we'll have another solution ERP called Sage X3 by a company called Sage. Is an ERP system. Then we'll have another ERP from SAP, and this ERP is called SAP S/4HANA Cloud. It's an ERP system. So if we don't know, if we do not carry out a thorough analysis, we will be struggling to understand which of these solutions are we going to choose for our clients or for our organization. Which one? There are so many of them. By the time we go full into Gartner, you see that it's going to be very difficult to determine which solution, and that is where this analysis comes in. The insights Gartner is going to give us will help us to tailor our need or to have visibility of what the solution can do. So that is it. So we're trying to understand the feasibility, effectiveness, and alignment with our objectives. So it involves evaluating potential solutions based on various criteria to ensure that the selected solution meet the need of the stakeholders and provide intended business value. And this is the key aspects and step involved in solutions evaluation. The first thing we need to do when we're planning to carry out a solution evaluation to choose solutions for our clients or our organization, the first thing is criteria definition and prioritization. We need to determine the criteria we want and the prioritization. This is by define the evaluation criteria based on organizational objective. What is their criteria for selecting a solution? So trying to understand the criteria for selecting a solution, we need to look at the objective. What are the objectives? Stakeholders' requirements, technical constraints, budget constraints, and other relevant factors. But these technical, budget, and stakeholder requirements and objective, so these are what we're going to look at. So we have to look at the objective. What are the stakeholders? We'll be having chat with the stakeholders. We've done stakeholder requirement gathering. We've analyzed their need, and we've agreed, but they have specific requirements they are looking for. And these are some of the things we will have at the back of our mind while looking for solution. There's other things like technical constraints we need to look into. Do they have, is it too technical? What are the technical constraints we think we cannot achieve, or the organization is struggling within with all these solutions? You see, some of the solutions are very complex. They might have high value, but it's very complex to implement. These are some of the technical constraints. Another thing is timeline. How urgent are they looking for this solution? This solution, for instance, this solution, SAP S/4HANA, all of us here, if you don't know SAP, SAP is a very powerful company. I started hearing of SAP during my NYC in 2004. You know, for some of you here, you know that I'm not your mate. So that is when we started doing this thing. Since 2004, that's when I started hearing about SAP. When my company in Nigeria wanted to Mobitel. Then I was doing my youth service in Mobitel in Victoria Island. So, and we are using what our company is using that time is Sage. And Sage is a lightweight ERP. And when our company started, the company started as a just small startup company, small telecommunication company. But the company grew massively over time, and the SAP could no longer cope with the demand. So, sorry, the Sage could no longer cope with the demand. So it warrants that we need to look for another scalable ERP, and that's when we start gunning for SAP. As a matter of fact, our technical partner then is Pricewater, PwC, and they suggested this SAP for us after carrying out analysis. Those people that did it is just business analysts like you working with Pricewater, carry out this analysis, and they suggested SAP for us. And we're in the process of implementing SAP. It didn't happen overnight, and a lot of things happened, and I left the company for UK. So that is about this. Just trying to tell you, SAP is a very big company, and all their solutions are top notch. What started this story is that they are top notch, but they are very, very complex for implementation. Not every developers can implement it. It will be difficult to implement. But when you get it right, most of all these big companies, Chevron, Texaco, London Underground, big names, this is what they are using. But they are very difficult to, implement. They are very difficult. But Sage is something we can just implement like within 6 months. We implemented Sage. Microsoft Business Central within 3 months. I can implement this within 3 months. So that's when I talk about technicalities. You need to consider all those things, and you need to understand the timeline. How much are they willing to give in terms of timeline before it can be implemented? So when you're trying to select a solution, these are the things you need to look into. That's what I'm talking about. Criteria for selection. When you look at this selection, all these criteria, you prioritize criteria. For instance, if the stakeholders, what is most important to them is that this is implemented ASAP, meaning they want this solution to be implemented as soon as possible. They don't want to waste time. So timeline should be prioritized as the number one. If they have low budget, if they say, Team Lagos, this thing, I want you people to do this, and we have £2,000 for this. We are not ready to exceed these £2,000. Then you know that they are very, very serious about their budget. So you have to be very careful with the budgeting. They have given this clause, no extension. Some company at the beginning will give you a clause when it comes to budget, £10,000, no extension. Some will tell you 6 months, no extension. So you are old when you're trying to play around with the budget or the timeline. But some will just give you open check as long as you do a good job. So, but it's very difficult to find companies that or client that gives you open check these days. So that is criteria we're talking about here. Criteria, you have to define the criteria for selection. Then once you decide criteria for selection, you have to look at the assessment of alternatives. There are so many alternatives in the market. So you need to do what we call comparative analysis. You compare all the ERPs in the market. That's here, comparative analysis of all the solutions in the market. Compare multiple solutions alternative, considering factors such as functionalities, cost, risk, timeline, scalability, flexibility, and alignment to the business need. So looking at these three solutions I selected there, you see Dynamics 365 Business Central, you see Sage, you see SAP. We're looking at which one is, if we're looking at, if cost is the main issue here, the main priority here, we're looking at the cost. If it's scalability, like the one I just gave you a scenario that in my company, those days when we started, is a very small startup company, but they started growing. So in this case, you can see that the priority here is scalability. They want something that can scale, grow as the company grow. Scalability means elasticity. They are elastic. As the company is growing, they are keep on expanding without bursting. But if they don't have this kind of scalability, once the company grows, they expand, you find out that the solution have gone to their limits and there's nothing you can do. So this is what we mean by assessment of alternatives. And once you've done the criteria and the assessment, then you do analysis and scoring. You have to score every solution. You have to give them points based on all these factors you've listed. For instance, when you assess, maybe you want to assess 3 solutions, you have to award them points based on, you can see 5-star on a scale of 1 to 5. How does this one particular meet your criteria? In terms of cost, you award. In terms of, you award 1 to 4. In terms of risk, you award between 1 to 4, 1 to 5 stars. In terms of timeline, in terms of scalability, that is what we mean here by assessing and scoring. So this is it. You do it that way. And you come down to what we call cost-benefit analysis. Cost-benefit analysis is making sure that the solution, the cost or the benefit of the solution must outweigh the cost of that solution. So every solution you are analyzing, you are looking at the benefits and the associate costs. So if you put them in a scale, if you put the cost and the benefit in a scale, if the cost, any of the solution you want to assess, you must put that solution in a scale of cost and benefits. If the cost is a bit higher than the benefit, is a no-no. That is another way of selecting at this point. You must do a thorough cost-benefit analysis. So you have to analyze the solution based on implementation cost, maintenance cost, and other expenses, and then weigh the benefits. If they are not viable, you can't go. So the cost benefit will help us to understand the viability of all the solutions we might be considering. So, and then we look at the risk. evaluate risk associated with the implementation of every of the solution. If the risk is too high, then we'll look for, of course, we know we are not ready to take severe risk. So after that, we'll look at feedback, stakeholder feedback and validation. Once we have done all these assessments, analyzing, scoring, cost-benefit analysis, and the risk, then we need to submit our findings to the stakeholders for feedback and validation. Of course, we can't do this in isolation. As we are working, we are getting feedback from stakeholders. And once the stakeholders make decision on which solution, that is when we have to, come up with all this need to be coming up. By the time they are making decision of all this, we have to prepare everything and put it in one document called business case. And then once we put it in business case, present to the stakeholders, they make decision. Once decision is made, the project can start. Then we move to planning because it's now validated and the project can now start. So this is part of the feasibility studies in a nutshell. Within the first initiate stage, all these both requirement gathering, requirement documentation, requirement analysis, solution evaluation, cost benefit analysis, all of them put together, we call it feasibility studies. That will help us to take decision whether to implement or not implement. I hope we are getting it. I hope is sinking.
Yes, sir.
So this is when we'll start acting like we're now consultants. Because if you are working with KPMG or Pricewater, this is what they do. And you see the way they raise their shoulders. You think that they are demigods. So at this point, now we are learning all these things. You can start raising we are one shoulder at this point. You cannot raise your two shoulders, just one shoulder until you deliver your first project. Then you can start raising your two shoulders. You become a consultant. So I remember one lady then in Pricewater. You see this girl, all of us. Then I was doing my youth service. We were seeing this girl as final because she was working with the business analyst with Pricewater. You see the kind of shakara way this girl they do for office that time. So because she's a business analyst and from a reputable company, but you can see you are doing it now, so you can start doing shakara you too, and will be worthwhile. Okay, let's look at the step-by-steps, to help us conduct this solution evaluation. The first thing is to define your objectives, because if you don't define your objective, you won't be able to do this criteria to once you get your objective, determine the specific goal and objective you want to achieve with the system, list your software requirements, including features, integration, and scalability. So you have to list what you really need, like the features, the integration, and scalability. Once you get them listed out, identify potential vendors. Like I said, there are so many vendors in the market, like Microsoft Corporation is a big vendor, SAP is a big vendor, Sage is a big vendor, Oracle is a big vendor. There are so many of them, vendors in the market. So you select Vendor research and identify potential vendors that will match your requirement. Seek recommendation and review and comparing the price. It's going to be difficult if you are going to be visiting the different websites. So this is where Gartner comes in. Develop a criteria. Create a list of evaluation criteria that will help you assess each solution. Consider factors like features, pricing, user-friendly, scalability, and the customer support. And then assign weights to criteria. Assign a weight of 1 to 5 to each criteria based on the importance to your organization. So like I said, these weights will help us, kind of scoring. Score each vendor, request a demo or trial version from the vendors. For each vendor, score each vendor on a scale of 1 to 5, with 5 being the best and 1 being the worst. So this scoring and weight assigning will help you to easily pick the one with the highest score. So, and then calculate the total score, multiply each criterion score by its weight for each vendor, sum the weighted score for each vendor to calculate the total score. It's just very simple. And then make a decision. Review the total score for each vendor. Consider factors like cost, implementation time, and customer reference. Select the vendor that align best with your objective and requirement. And this is like a sample of what I'm talking about. You see here, this is the criteria. You see the way I list what my organization is looking for based on criteria. We prioritize user friendliness as number 1, scalability as number 2, pricing as number 3, integration as number 4, customization, reporting and analytics, mobile friendly, customer support, data security, implementation timeline. Please, somebody is making noise. I don't want to call your name. Training and documentation and total. You see the way I listed, you must not list everything. You can just list like 5 requirements that is based on what your organization. Of course, you are not going to be listing with your head. You are going to be listing based on the requirements gathering you had with your stakeholder. They've told you what they want. So what they want will form your listing. And then their prioritization, the one they say that is more important to them, will be number 1 on top of this list. And then here you assign a weight of let's say 5, and then you start scoring. You see various vendors according to this weight. When you weigh, you score. You weigh, you score. At the end of the day, you see here that in terms of user friendliness, you've scored these 3 vendors. And the vendor A is scoring 4, vendor B is scoring 4.5, vendor C is scoring, vendor B is scoring 4.2, and vendor C is scoring 4.5. And then you can see again, vendor A 3.5, vendor B 4 points, vendor C 4.2. Between us here, we don't even need any soothsayer. If we want to make a decision based on what we've done already, we are going to go for vendor C. So that is it. True or false?
True.
So you can see when we are trying to start this analysis, it looks so complex. How can we do this? You hear solutions evaluation. Some of you will just start peeing on their boxers. How do I do this? Wahala don't full ground. But you see the way we streamline it with this table is very, very simple. to achieve. If you apply this process, very, very simple. And that's it. Very simple. So, okay. Now we've seen a template. Then let's move down to Gartner and then look at Gartner, how we can use this Gartner to do this. When I'll be sharing my lecture notes, I will capture, you see here, this link, to the Gartner. These Gartner, various links that will take you to, so that you won't have to go and start typing or just share the link here. So I've clicked on the link, click on this link, and the Gartner is open. This is the Gartner we're talking about. I'm on the Gartner's website. I just screenshot this that I added to the lesson note, or this is the live this thing. So now let me close this thing up and see where we'll come from here. I will see I'll close this and equally I'll just move away from this and this. So let's say I just come into Gartner and I want to look for ERP system. In this Gartner, I can just say ERP. ERP. And once I type ERP, there are suggestions like ERP for product-centric enterprise. I can choose it. And once I choose it, now it brings down the list of enterprise application. You see all of them here. But before then, it gives us an overview. What is Cloud ERP for product-centric enterprise? Gartner defines cloud resource plan, enterprise resource planning for product-centric enterprise as a market for application technology that support the automation of operational and financial activities for the manufacturing, distribution, delivery, service goods companies, and so many of them. So this is what they gave in as their own definition of ERP in terms of what we're looking for. So these are lists of products within these solutions, within this term. Here we have so many of them here. You can see them here. If I scroll down, there are so many of them. Now you're trying to select, it's going to be difficult. You can do by filter, by industry, by region, by company size. But look at them here. And this is IFS Cloud, IFS Cloud ERP. That's it. And we have another one. We have SAP S/4HANA Cloud. This is another one, Epicor Kinetic. Then this is another one, Oracle NetSuite ERP. Then this is, as we scroll down, we have another one, Oracle Fusion ERP. Then you have another one, Dynamics 365 Business Central. Then you have another one, Acumatic Cloud ERP. So if I keep scrolling, they are uncountable. You see me as I'm scrolling down, all of them, you see Sage, you see so many of them, even some that I've never heard their name before, they are here. So many of them. If you come here, if you are a first timer, this is just page 1 to 20 products. You can view more. So if you are just coming here for the first time, you are going to be lost. So, but let's use this, how this Gartner work. So, because SAP is a very popular name, we are going to go to the ones we know, very popular. Because so we click on SAP to look at, understand the SAP, what the people are saying about SAP. You see the overall rating of SAP. SAP is rated 4.2 by 388 professionals. And the rating is within this distribution, within this criteria, customer experience within this criteria. You know, you see evaluation and contracting, they rated this 4.3, integration and deployment, they rated it 4.3, service and support, product capabilities. You see, that is where the rating comes in. And if you continue, you can go on and read more and more, even what people are talking. If you likes and dislikes, you can go on and on and on. But it's not going to help us make selection. How long are we going to start reading and reading? So all I need to do here is I've selected this SAP, and I need to apply comparative analysis within this Gartner website. You see this button called compare. I'll click on compare, and I'll choose those that I have interest in to compare them. I have interest in Dynamics 365. Is a very powerful alternative. I select it. I want to select just three to compare three products, and I will select Sage as well. Sage is very powerful because it's very, very popular within small and medium enterprise companies. So I'll select Sage as well. You can select as many as you want for your comparative, just for you to compare and see which one is winning based on what professionals are seeing. And once I selected three, and I come down here, I click compare, and you see three of them will appear on my screen, you know, side by side for me to look. Looking at what they are saying already, you can see the overall rating here is 4.3. Sage is scoring 4.3 overall rating. But I'm not going to choose based on overall rating. I'm going to choose based on my own personal criteria, because what they use to rate this might not be what I'm interested in. And you're looking at here again, you see this is from 125 review, this is from 71 review, and this is from 388 review. If you are looking at this, because this has more people that have reviewed this than this, I think this is a better solution looking at the number of review captured. So then we're going to look down to see the details of the basis of review here and rating, not just based on. So this is a breakdown. As we scroll down here, we see a breakdown, rating breakdown, how this rating were captured, and you see here overall capability. If I'm looking for overall capability, you see that SAP is topping the list based on overall, because 4.5, 4.3, and 4.3. And then we'll come down again. Under these overall capabilities, we look at various other things they put into consideration, like complex corporate requirement, composable platform, geographic coverage. These are what they put together to capture the overall So these are some of the things we are going to be looking at to see if they make sense to us. So if they make sense to us, based on what the criteria of looking for overall, then it means we can select that. Another one here is evaluation and contracting. Under evaluation and contracting here, we see that SAP is rating higher than the other two, Microsoft Business Central and Sage. And then if we are looking at integrations, the level of integrations, here integration is 4.0 and integration on this is 4.1 and integration on this is 4.3. You can see SAP is really leading the league. And some people, what they want is service support, the kind of support they will be receiving after the implementation. You see, looking at service support, you see SAP is still on a very good rating more than others. And that is how you carry out a thorough review. So by this, you can then make a choice. But the reason why this SAP, I'm not going to choose SAP over this and over these two applications is that this SAP S/4HANA is for larger enterprise like Microsoft, like Google, like Facebook, and these large enterprises. But these two is for small and medium enterprises. So there might not be in the same scale. I'm just giving you an idea how to carry out analysis evaluation. So for the first thing you have to understand is your company, where does your company belongs? Is your company, do they belong in medium? Do they belong in small enterprise? Do they belong in medium enterprise? Or your company is one of the large scale enterprise? This is good for large scale enterprise. So if we're like Nearas, we can see that Nearas is just a startup and is a small enterprise. So it is going to belong within the small and medium enterprise. So if we're doing analysis for Nearas, we might say, okay, this do not come in because this is for larger enterprise. We can remove it, and then we can add another product to this comparative board by looking at, let's say, look for other smaller, for small, we can say, let's just say we pick Fusion Info. Let's just say we pick this Focus ERP and add it and compare. So now we are trying to compare them with people of their, we can't compare, you can't just come and start comparing application that is within League 1 and the one with League 2. All of them must be in the same league division before you start comparing them. So we have to look for applications that are within the same league, and Microsoft, they have so many Dynamics 365. This particular business center is specifically made for small and medium enterprise. If you are looking for bigger corporation in Microsoft, it's called Microsoft Finance and Operations, but not Business Center. So this is where we can, and you can see now, if we are comparing this, you can see that Sage is on top of the list. So that is how we can use this comparative analysis. And if you are doing your analysis and making reference to Gartner, your company will know that you know what you are doing, because Gartner is #1 in terms of solution insights. So if you can just learn how to use Gartner alone during solution evaluation, that's going to be a good idea based on Gartner's reputation. So that is basic way we can do solutions evaluation. So it depends on the kind of solutions you want to implement. This is for ERP. If we want to look for CRM, we can see CRM, and see CRM, we can see here, and you see we moved away from ERP and we're now within CRM. And now in CRM, you can see so many CRM. All of us know CRM, Salesforce is a big name in CRM. So okay, let's pick Salesforce and let's compare Salesforce with other CRMs. We can say compare. And what are the big other names? Sugar CRM has been very, very good as well. It's one of these emerging markets, Sugar CRM. And let's look for Dynamics. We see SAP here as well. They have their own CRM. And I'm looking for Dynamics 365 here. And I'm not seeing them. So, okay, this is Dynamics 365. That's them there. But this is CRM for customer engagement. So, and you see, that's it. You can make your comparative analysis on this. So it depends on the domain system, if it's CRM domain or ERP domain you are looking for. So that's it. And if you are looking for, let's say, ITSM, so ITSM, to see if they can give us something for that. So now you see ITSM, they still have, so we can equally say let's compare to see if we have something for ITSM. And ITSM here we have ServiceNow. ServiceNow is one of the biggest name in the industry at ServiceNow. And we have Jira Service Management. Jira Service Management is good. We have Freshservice. We have, and so many of them. We have System Center Management Manager. And I'm looking if I can see Hello ITSM. We see IBM. We have so many of them here. So it depends on the domain you are looking for. And let's just see let's choose Fresh Service, or all of us are very familiar with Jira, and we pick Jira, and we say we compare. And after comparative, we can see that Jira is coming up, but you see the number of review, and the number of review give us idea of the amount of people that are using that application. You can see this is 872 review. Of course, they are bigger than this. And you can see this 1,870. You can see that ServiceNow is the grandmaster in this market, looking at the number of review. So that's it. So what I'm trying to say is that you can use Gartner for various enterprise application. It can be ERP, it can be ITSM, it can be CRM, whichever one you want. They are there. So thank you. Once you do this review, you come back here and we have a template you've created. You create your own. So if the way I selected, maybe this, I've selected Microsoft, I selected SAP, and I selected Sage. So the way you're analyzing them from, so you'll be rating them based on your own, giving them your own score, and you see it's very simple. By the time you score them, you should be able to come up with a cumulative, total them up, and you know which one is higher, which one is number 2. And when you are going to write your business case, then you are going to make recommendation for your organization based on this. The one with highest, you can recommend this as number 1. You must select up to 3 to 4 solutions for your organizations to make choice in order of your evaluation, so that if they don't want the number 1 recommendation, they can fall back to number 2 or number 3 or even number 4. So, and that's how you do your solution evaluation and write your business case, and that's it. Very simple. All right. If you have a question, I'm all for you. So, Mr. Alex.
Yeah, thank you for this orientation this evening. Personally, I appreciate the Gartner insight. It's very interesting. So I'm looking at the score you are talking about now for the vendors. Is it the one you to get the score? Is it based on the review as you go through the Gap insight? Is that what determines the score you put on?
Why you are going to Gartner is because Gartner is the number 1 consultant. What they are telling you is just the way it is in the market. And a lot of companies are taking decisions based on Gartner's reports. So going there, a lot of companies subscribe. This one we are seeing here is just their free services. If you want a detailed or this thing, companies subscribe to Gartner to get important decision from Gartner. So that is enough. I don't see any kind of review analysis you are going to do that will at a very quick time give you half of what you are going to get from Gartner. So whatever you are seeing there is legit. It's not playing. And these are big boys. When they do review, then don't come here to. These are big boys from New York, from London, from Ontario, from big boys in the industry. This is what they are using, and this they are giving their review, and that's it. So it's left for you to take it or leave it, but that is the truth about every of these solutions.
Okay, sir. But as you open, I saw join or signing on the.
That's why I said you have to pay.
Okay.
If you want a premium service from them, then you can sign in. But going to their website, they provide a lot of free services. You know, so many companies, once they know what they are doing, they provide a lot of free services for you to, it's only companies that don't know what they are doing. Before you can even click on the website, they say bring money. I see such people as scammers. Somebody who knows what they are doing, they will provide some of their services free for people. This is a way to showcase their prowess. Yeah, we are comfortable with what we are doing. It's not about money, it's about service first. Goodwill. So
all right,
this service is good enough to give you any kind of only if you are looking for, I don't know, complex solution, you might then consult them on their premium services. So many of all these people, KPMG, all of them are using Gartner. Yeah. So, any more question? Choma Obonna. Chidema Obonna. Sorry, Chidema.
I want to know if Gartner is free reward. We have to subscribe for it.
I cannot hear you.
Now, sir. Can you hear me now, sir?
We can't hear you.
Okay, I'm asking if Gartner is it a free software that we can use, or it has paid version?
I've just answered this.
Sorry, sir.
This is just what Alex did, and I said they have premium services and they have free services. I said that companies who knows what they do, they provide a lot of free services. And I said Gartner is one of them. They provide a lot of free services, but a lot of big companies are using their premium service. And I equally said that their free service can help us do a lot of things.
Okay, thank you so much, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Guys, I want to say thank you for joining. And this we're coming to the level where we can start our project, our second project, which is going to be mainly on enterprise application. So that's why I'm just taking our time to explain all this very well, because the next project we are going to be working on is going to be ERP. So that's why I've been trying to talk about ERP all this while. So, and once we've done our business case, we should be able to get started, and we'll finish the rest while we're still implementing our project. So, Alade Tomi.
Good evening, sir.
Okay.
Yesterday you mentioned, sorry, it's just a brief question, sir. So
No
you
question
mentioned
is
that we're
good.
going to have a meeting on how we're going to go about our user acquisition for the NERAS project. So I wanted to ask that when is the meeting going to?
Well, I'm going to get to you guys on that. The main thing is to understand solution
Can
evaluation.
help us to quickly wrap.
Solution evaluation is more important than every other thing now. Understand this, because we'll have time to do our expansion. But once we pass this, why I'm saying this, once we pass this, we are not coming back to it. So that's why I'm prioritizing it. I want your question to be based on this. But our expansion project is going to start on the neat already, and we are there. So that's why I want to. Or if it's expansion, we'll have a meeting as soon as I can put something on my calendar for us, and I want us to capture, like I posted it on the platform, events, weekend events is something we can start planning. Once organizing this kind of events, it's going to give us visibility. We can partner with so many organizations. Within the states, we can partner with tourism board of every state. We can organize picnics. We can organize get-togethers, like even arrange for laugh from all these basket mouths. There's a lot of things we can do within our community to gain visibility. And some of these events can be paid events. We can even be making money from all these events. If we partner with some of these organizations, going to waterfall, going to zoo, going to, for those in Anambra, there's what we call Obunike Cave. It's a very powerful place people go for, sightseeing. And this is something we'll have to factor into what we're doing in terms of near us. So, Alade Tomi, I think you might be interested in this one as well. So, yeah, so if we're in Abuja, some of these places that life is so boring, you see people there, they don't have friends, they don't have any place to go, nothing. We can start spicing their life up, creating events that can, bring them out and things like that. Just like Go Kabuka partner with a municipal authority, we can equally partner with a municipal authority to handle an event to spice up the city for them. And it's going to be paid events. So where we're going to be making money, not free events. So we're giving them good services. Of course, they are going to be liking it. So it just came out something I saw, and I think it's something we can incorporate in what we're doing. So, yeah. So the team lead of every group should take notes, capture it, and factor it into what we're doing. In as much as we're chasing influencers, we need to, repackage ourselves in a way that, there's a way you chase someone and the person, you even turn around, the person you are chasing will start chasing you. It can happen that way. So that is it. Because, we have what they want. It's just that we have not packaged ourselves. This is their business. This is where they are eating. We have a platform where they eat. And they will have to diversify their business. Some of them being only on Facebook. If anything happened to Facebook, they will go out of business automatically. You can see where we come in. And so, but when we start shaking the city with our events, when we have events, we can equally post our events on Facebook, promote it on Facebook. But if you want to join the event, you go to Nearas and register for the events. So, and when they say we'll have backups from relevant authorities like Tourism Board, City Municipal Council, beaches like Bar Beach, Kuramo Beach. Well, I don't know the latest beach in Lagos, for those days, the beaches will have Bar Beach, Kuramo Beach, Alpha Beach, but there are so many beaches now in Lagos, and all those in Lagos can find other things outside the beaches, something extra, like can equally create an event for singles, So if you are going there, you'll be hoping of some of these, some people like us that don't know how to check women. We can go there knowing that any woman you see there is out for grab. So, and for those who are really, some of the ladies that are so picky, they can come there and see so many young men they can make selection from. So, yeah, so we're in the business of making people happy. And that is what my social, bringing people from the online, bringing them out. So that is another thing we'll have to do. Some people that are hiding online, like some of you here, they are just here hiding. We have to drag them out of the online space, and that's it. Okay, any question before I jump out and jump in for another class? Any question? In this this one, I'm saying nobody is saying anything, but when do you be seeing like the one like singles? Now everybody will be scrabbling for tickets, but nobody is saying everything as if it's only Mr. Charles that is interested. So, all right. I'll see you tomorrow, and have a good night's rest.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.